Hi there, I'm Janyce Lastman, and welcome to Tools, Strategies, and Survival Skills for Parents of Grade 11 and 12 students during this pandemic year. I am an education consultant and case manager in Toronto for the Tutor Group. We do tutoring, but I also do consulting, and this last year we have spent a great deal of time supporting parents, students, and schools as we move from last year's spring lockdown through this summer and into this pandemic school year like no other. Michelle from CanGap asked me to share some of the top tools and tricks and strategies that help parents help their kids get through and hopefully not just survive, but thrive. Today, I'll be breaking this into a series of questions based on some of the most common points that parents bring to me. There will be a list of websites and links that relate to some of the resources that I'm talking about that will be available at the end of this presentation. I wanted to start by looking at what is it about grade 11 and 12 in general that makes it a special and somewhat tense time, even without COVID, without the pandemic year. What's special, what's unique, and then how are we doing this year? Grade 11 and 12 traditionally is an anxiety-provoking time for a lot of students. It's full of hopes and dreams, fears, concerns, particularly worries about grades, whether they'll be sufficient, whether they will get into the schools that they're hoping for, and then how will they choose from the selections they have, and a lot of social concerns around graduation, participating in certain activities, and ultimately saying goodbye to their high school years, their friends, and their experiences to move on. I've brought a Wordle for you, a Wordle, W-O-R-D-L-E, visual that shows the common words that represent kids' feelings in a bunch of writing over a period of time. And in fact, the first Wordle that you'll see in front of you is the pre-pandemic Wordle, the kind of things that 11s and 12s were thinking about before COVID. The second Wordle is what 11s and 12s are thinking about writing and talking about during COVID. One of my students put this to me in a way that I thought was really helpful. She said, the worst thing about the pandemic is that when I go to school, everything seems the same, but yet nothing is the same. And I thought that was actually pretty insightful. So what's different and how are we doing? Some of the obvious things are that many of your children aren't in school. They're learning online, they're learning in a hybrid situation, or they're only attending school a few hours a day. Private schools, for the most part, are in school most or all of the day, but the public schools run a variety of teaching models. The second change, of course, is that many of the standard courses aren't being offered or are being offered only at certain times. So we have a lot of kids that have timetables with gaps or with filler courses they haven't signed up for. They might be studying on a quadmester basis, 2 courses over 4 semesters through the year, an octomester basis, 1 course at a time, 1 month at a time. They may be doing trimesters or they may be semestered. We even have schools that are alternating 8 courses, but 2 blocks at a time. In practical terms, nothing fits a traditional timetable. Students aren't used to working as quickly as quadmestering or other systems require them to do. And the pacing for teachers is also very different. Testing and evaluation has changed. Many of the evaluations are oral or presentation. And of course, the big issue, very few activities, not much social happening at school, and many kids, many of their friends either not in school or that they're not able to see. So for the average anxious grade 11 and 12 student, already worried about getting into the college or university of their choice. This is even more anxiety provoking for the average parent. It makes it even harder because we want to help them, we want to support them, and we really aren't sure how to do that.